If you've been playing around with the idea of freelancing for a while and you're like, you know what, this year is the year where I really want to dive in, or I want to do this full time, or I want to freelance or I bring in extra revenue, this video is for you. For those of you who are new around here, my name is Debbie and I've been freelancing full time since 2017. It's not always easy. There's lots of ups and downs, but there are some foundational tips that have helped me year over year, no matter how the industry changes. And we're going to dive into some of these tips today. So the first tip I want to talk about is building a portfolio. A lot of people think that you have to have a website to have a portfolio, and I am on team have a website. I do believe that it's really effective. It has helped me get discovered by potential clients year over year, especially when you blog and you take time to do some SEO work on your website. Getting those inbound leads is great. But when you're just getting started, whether you're working with a very limited budget or almost no budget, there are tools out there that you can use to help you build a portfolio. So I'll go over some of those tools with you, and we'll talk about what to do if you are limited in terms of how much you have to put in your portfolio. So when it comes to building your portfolio at the beginning, of course it can be frustrating if you feel like you don't have enough, but there is nothing wrong with you creating sample content. So sample UGC videos, sample articles, sample social media content, graphics, videos, whatever it may be. And as long as you disclose that it's sample content, it's not like you're going to make a video of a product or whatever and claim that you worked with that brand. As long as you label it and that you disclose that it's sample content, and the potential client can see what it's like to work with you. So I've built my portfolio over the years, but when I just got started, of course I created lots of samples. So sample social media graphics, videos, sample articles, or I showcased articles of the blog I had at the time. And then over time, as you build your clientele, you get testimonials and you get even more things that you can add in your portfolio. So if you're not in a place where you can have a website just yet, using a platform like Contra or setting up some gigs on Fiverr can be really useful at the beginning. Now, hear me out. Marketplaces sometimes do get a bad rep. However, you should never write them off until you've tried them yourself. And I know it's frustrating to hear this, but I have used Marketplace, and some of my long-term clients have found me on marketplaces as well. And while it's not my main place for finding clients, it can be really helpful, and it's an easy way to create a portfolio because you can share the link to your profile with potential clients. Now, Contra is really helpful because they don't take commissions, and the way their portfolio layout works and how you can choose different styles is really nice too. Then you also have tools that can be free or low cost like Google Sites or even Canva, where you can create, for Canva, you can create a PDF presentation with your portfolio items, or you can create a Canva site, and you can also create a free Google site. So you do have some options when it comes to showcasing your work while not having a website. So two other things that I think are really important when it comes to freelancing, and no, they don't mean that you always have good days and you never experience ups and downs, but resilience and self-motivation are really important. So you have to be okay with the idea that as technology changes, as the world changes, you may have to pivot. And sometimes it's not always out of necessity. Sometimes it's like, okay, I'm realizing that I'm not sure if I want to offer this service anymore. I want to pivot and offer a different type of service. So you have to find that self-motivation, and you have to be willing to do the research and put in the work so that you can make those changes. And again, it's not always easy, but embracing change versus resisting change and welcoming it, and finding that self-motivation where you're like, you know what, I can do this. Like, there's a reason why I started freelancing. I know there are ups and downs. It's okay to have bad days, bad moments, but I'm going to pick myself back up and I'm going to keep going. And understanding too that if something is not working, it doesn't mean that it's not meant for you. Sometimes it's because we have to do things differently. If you've been, for example, sending the same type of proposal over and over using the same template and it's not working for you, it may be time to look at your approach. But this doesn't mean that it's not meant for you. Sometimes we just need to start doing things differently, kind of like reverse engineer your process and what you've been doing and be like, okay, where can I change what I've been doing so that I can start getting responses to my proposals? Or how else can I generate leads if this approach is not working? Another thing I think is so foundational when it comes to freelancing is you want to approach how you deal with your clients from a retention and client success mind frame. So what is the experience like from getting discovered to starting to work with you, through working with you, long-term, short-term? What is it like? Would you hire yourself, right? Would these customers come back? So the more you're in it to also provide them a good experience, not just a good result based on your service, but people work with people because of people. So especially if you're a service provider, this is something you have to remember. So you always want to approach things with a customer success and retention mindset. You want to provide that good experience. You want to make sure that your clients feel seen, they feel heard, in addition to getting the amazing service or products that they're purchasing from you. That's how you're going to get your referrals. That's how people are going to keep coming back for more or stay with you long term, which is what you want. Well, it may not be what you want, but in terms of marketing management, Pinterest management, it's definitely what I want. But if you're selling more, let's say, courses or consultations, of course, it may be a little bit different, but still providing that good experience is what's going to get them talking and recommend you to those they know that also need the same type of service. So I think you guys get what I mean. Always think about that experience you're providing to your customers. Next, you're gonna have to put yourself out there. It's gonna look different for everyone. I'm not gonna tell you to put yourself on camera and to film YouTube videos or to be live on Instagram or go live on TikTok every day if that's not your thing. However, I want you guys to remember something. The market will always be saturated. People that stand out and people that show up are usually the ones that are able to make it. But again, that can look differently for everyone. If you are not the type of person that wants to be on camera, that wants to create video content, you may want to look into something like blogging or podcasting. So you create an inbound way of getting people into your world, but you're still consistent. You're still showing up because you're providing value. However, you'll find what that is for you and you'll show up. And consistency looks different for everyone, right? And it also depends on your approach, the type of service you offer. However, I'm saying this because when I first started, I was terrified of writing anything online. I had no problem doing it for my clients, but I was terrified to post online. I was terrified of being seen. I was terrified of what people think. But the more you do it, as cliche as it sounds, the better you get at it, or the more comfortable it feels. And even if it doesn't always comfortable, there are moments where it doesn't, let's be honest. And the thing is, we're growing every time we do something that feels uncomfortable. But yeah, just showing up and finding that place online where you're like, okay, I'm gonna show up, this is uncomfortable, again, whether it's video or not, maybe podcasting, maybe blogging, but I'm going to put my thoughts out there, share my expertise, share my story, and that's really going to help you stand out and get those inbound clients in as well. Last but not least for today, I want you guys to consider offering micro offers or micro products. So at the end of the day, not everyone that comes into our world is ready for a high ticket service or a high ticket product, whether it's a course or coaching. So you want to think about micro offers, whether it's, let's say, a half-hour consultation, a mini audit, whatever it is that you think you could offer in your niche. It's a great way for people to get a taste of what it's like to work with you, to get them into your funnel, and then you get to also continue nurturing them. And who do you think they're going to go to? the next time that they need help or when they're ready to scale and they need something else that you offer. Most likely you. So I hope you guys enjoyed these tips. If the video resonates, please like and subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments if this year is the year that you're thinking of either freelancing full-time or doing it on a part-time basis. Thanks for watching.